Is this thing on? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I think we're good. I think we're up and running, people. Good evening, everyone. I am so ready to see this video and I guess other videos maybe, because it looks like there are a lot of things that I didn't see, I think, just by going to Nintendo's YouTube page. But I am going to jump into this before anyone spoils this. So I'm giving you one more chance. So brace yourself. We have a problem? Yo, Christian, welcome in. Destiny, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Why do we have an issue, Silver? And Vanna, I'm so sorry to hear that you have a headache. I'm gonna go live on TikTok after we've watched the video because I just don't want to. I don't trust TikTok. You know, since it's still around at the time of the stream/recording. You have an ocular migraine and can't see out my right eye. Cheese and rice, you and Vanna, there's something in the air. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and get this started. You said yours doesn't hurt though. All right, well, at the time of this stream/recording, Nintendo has finally released a first look trailer at the new console that is scheduled to release later this year, I am assuming, because they've shared that quite a bit over the years. So, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the game scene, and we're gonna take a look at this video. I'm excited. Okay. Smudge it. Whoa! What? Finally! Just kidding. They've always had USB-C. Don't trust that kickstand. Whoa! Yo, I think I have seen some of this from leaks. So those leaks were legitimate. I swear there were leaks from shipments in China or something like that. Interesting. Black controllers with colored accents. Oh, they don't slide on anymore. They just get inserted. Just like what you do with computers. Whoa. I swear if that's the same Mario Kart we've been playing. Plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. What? What? That's it. I'm sorry, was I supposed to freak out? Did anyone else freak out? We've been waiting since the Switch originally released in 20 2017, I think. It's been 8 years. 8 years. And the only thing we saw just now was Mario Kart, which at face value, surface level, looked exactly like the Mario Kart we've been playing for 10 plus years. Is it literally the same reaction, Vanna? Like, I've been having to ignore my phone today because I had people that were calling me, texting me, like, hey, Switch 2 announcement. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I can't believe I could do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not even gonna, I can't even look at these people. New one has 24 racers and some of the models are different. Like, Donkey Kong is different. Okay, so is there any other videos that they may have released? Initial reaction is great, fantastic. I have so many Switches here to trade in, so then I hopefully don't have to spend much money on it if I can get my hands on it. I'm hoping that... What?
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
I never played this one!
We've taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact.
But I heard the story for this kind of branched off from the other games. So are they gonna connect?
The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis.
The White Whale.
All housed in a unit called the Lifehold. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold.
That whale
are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting.
Cheese and rice, these worlds are so big. Cheese and rice! What?
Another day, another step. Slowly but surely, we're building a sustainable future for ourselves on this planet.
Remember, the clock is always ticking. We have to find that unit before it's too late.
Cheese and rice!
Anytime you need a little extra help, give me a call. I happen to be a pretty competent pilot.
What the?
That might be a skill you're in the market for.
Irina! Marcus! Run!
You must be purged. This is our calling as Ganglion. The cause of the righteous.
Son, is it possible this is their native planet?
Troops, a trying battle awaits us.
This makes me think of like Final Fantasy
the coming invasion, no matter
11 or
cost.
14 online or something.
You're right to be afraid, little girl.
Oh,
We need
she was creepy looking.
No matter what the cost. We came here to ensure the survival of the human race. The will to live is stronger than the will to destroy,
Whoa.
Luxar. Let's go!
I mean, I'm obviously gonna play it.
People still need me. Humanity still needs me.
Let's go.
You're still alive?
This Skell
Was that done,
always
man?
leading the way, guiding us.
And Shulk?
We needed.
Yo, that is my wife's birthday. That is... What? That was Dustpan, right? Are you kidding me? Like, yo. Oh, hold on. What the? Yo, Stormageddon, welcome in. You're usually the one behind the gossip. Like, so, initial reaction? The graphics don't feel like they got as much of a facelift as the first Xenoblade Definitive Edition. But then again, Xenoblade 1 was released like 3 times, right? I think it came out on the Wii originally, then it came out on the 3DS, then it came out on the Switch. So that got two versions. This coming out, oh, you know what I wonder? I wonder if Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out on the Switch in March, and then there is an even more improved version of it that runs on the Switch 2. Like, I'm hoping that features on the Switch 2 that we find are going to be similar to, if you play the PS5, it can enhance games. If you're playing PS4 games on there, there's some optimizations. So I'm hoping that it's going to be like that with the Switch. The design of the Switch 2 makes it look like almost like you put a case on it. Just a black, silicone or plastic case. So design-wise, it's kind of giving me the vibes of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I can't say I'm super mad about it. It's just, when you wait so long, your own imagination can kind of go a little crazy. So at the end of the day, I just have to hold myself accountable for the expectations that I put in my head. But yeah, that looks like a Switch with a black and like casing on it. Does that look like the Wii U? You really feel like the new controllers? I wasn't paying attention. I just want to say that for the means. Oh, the new controllers will break so much. Now, let's just learn more. Is that it? Is that all we get? It's just that same trailer, right? Yeah, it's the same trailer. Okay, so what do y'all think? I'm looking at chat now. I'll put the music back on. I like that the controllers are bigger, the Joy-Cons are too small, and I don't have big hands. I feel that. I'm kind of excited. I still have just a basic Switch and my Joy-Cons won't connect anymore, and it hardly charges. Okay, so for you, Destiny, that's going to be a major upgrade. For me, I'll finally have a little bit of justification for all the Switches that I've acquired over the years because of collector's editions. I'll just probably trade a bunch of those in so that this one ends up being free or costs very little. I like that it's backwards compatible, so I think it's safe to say that there will be games that release exclusively on the Switch 2 that can't be played on the Switch 1. But this is following the pattern of what they typically do with their releases of new consoles, is that there's backwards compatibility. Remember when the Wii U came out? Obviously, you could play Wii games on it. You couldn't play Wii U games on the Switch, though, since it went from CDs to cartridges. This is why I'm irked about the leaks, because the wonder and excitement of seeing this for the first time is gone. All because someone wanted to be that person who got to say first. Exactly. Lucid, welcome in, by the way. Good to see you. You've had yours for like 6 years. And if you don't have the wrist thing, the shoulder buttons aren't that great. Yeah. I think a lot of us are probably going to be playing this console with a Pro controller It's hard to ignore leaks though. Like I won't purposely click on any articles, but you know how things work in social media. They leak enough information in the titles alone and in the pictures. So unless you just have some software that's always blocking stuff. Dread! Thank you so much for the raid. We just got done watching the Switch 2 reveal. And you were playing Goat Simulator? What? That is awesome. That is great. Yeah, my reaction overall is I'm glad Nintendo's announced it. I'm happy that it's coming out this year. I hope I can get my hands on one. Did I like the new Mario Kart? Yo! It looked exactly the same. All I saw was a different level. And the carts had a different design on them a little bit. Like a paint job. Like the teases just can't stop. It's almost like Nintendo did not want to reveal it just yet, but the leaks came out. And they're like, give them something! All right, just give the world something before our whole plan gets leaked. Now I'm just waiting for all the games that is going to be launch titles to get released or leaked. Yeah, over 20 people. Great for bringing back Mario Kart Saturdays. Yo, are you serious? Did they announce that? They said that it's gonna... That's a huge deal. That's gonna be the biggest thing for us. I think for us as a community, we'd be more excited of just the fact that we can play with more people at the same time. And to be fair, the Mario Kart that's been out is stacked. It's just we've played it for so long, but it's stacked, just like the most recent Super Smash Bros. Game. Stacked. It has everything, in my opinion, you could want in these games. So what do you do? You know, and I like change it from Mario Kart 8 to Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart 10, whatever, to just Mario Kart. And it just has, it's just always online, or not always online. I hate always online, but it's like the Genshin games or any other games that are long running where they just release expansions and all that. But Nintendo always does things differently. They march to the tune of their own horn. Bringing back Double Dash would be a fun thing to add to. Yes! What? What? What, Dreddy? So what else they got? What else have I not seen that I would actually care about? Is that it? Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at their videos to see. I could watch Genshin and Honkai Star Rail trailers. I'm tempted. I'm super tempted. But we would be alienating people that's in here that doesn't care for those games. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, because with the new console coming out this year and them stating that there's going to be more information released, or maybe its own direct in April. So that is 3 months from today at the time of this stream/recording. We're in a bit of a dry spell, in my opinion, where we're getting some last minute definitive editions of Wii U entries. And saving all the good stuff for hopefully April. What? Yeah. So, Dreddy Bear. I don't even think I have been scrolling through social media a whole lot over the last, 6+ months. Ever since I've been on my spiritual journey, I guess. Whatever. So, even though I haven't really been big on social media, I still saw leaks without looking for them. The only thing that was different was that the finish was black as opposed to the models themselves from, like a Chinese manufacturing plant or whatever. It was just a white Switch. But I guess I'm more excited for just the horsepower, I'm excited for what's on the inside because I need to be less of a hypocrite, Apple releases new iPhones every year with very minimal changes to its outer design. The PS4 to PS5 was a big leap in design, not in technology, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And then Xbox went from what did people used to call the design of the Xbox 360? I don't even know what they would consider it to look like, but it went from that to a fridge. A very powerful fridge. And I'm okay with that. What about you, Dred? Just because it showed only one here doesn't mean they might not have other colors in launch. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even thought about that. Okay, so if they do offer different colors, do you think they would have a black version and a white version? That white would look clean. But then again, if they have a white finish, I don't know if I want the red and blue accents. But this all comes down to personal tastes with designs. Because I don't know. And I guess okay, so what do y'all think about the name of the console? With it being Nintendo Switch 2. Are y'all happy? It makes sense by the design, of course, but what do you do when, for the average consumer, let's say for the parents out there that are just trying to buy something for their kids for the holidays. It's Nintendo, so it's a safe bet that they're gonna like it. And unless they raise their kids wrong. Anyways, we have a Nintendo Switch. We have a Nintendo Switch Lite. We have a Nintendo Switch OLED. We have a Nintendo Switch 2. It's reminding me of the Wii and the Wii U, or the 3DS, 2DS, new 3DS, 3DS XL. Was there a 2DS XL? Honestly, don't really care about the name. I feel like this one Should be Switch Plus. OLED should have been 2. Yeah, that... Honestly, like, I love my Switch OLED. Switches. My OLED switches. First world issues. It's what happens when you were deprived as a kid, and when you became an adult and you make your own money, you could buy your own stuff. Anyways, it's a great feeling. If you haven't experienced it, you just wait. And if you have, you know what I'm talking about. They could have skipped on the OLED model. In my opinion. They could have... I didn't see people complaining about the screens of the Switch a whole lot at the time, especially if you play it docked. You know, like, it's nice. It's a nice touch. It's nice, but you know, that could have just been one more feature that they could market even more easily with the new Switch. It's like, oh, this one has an OLED screen now. You know. Is there any other videos that they released? Is it just this one right now? Do we know the price? What? What's happening? What's going on? I don't know. Okay, so it is 7:30. Not until direct in April. That's when more will be released. Makes sense. Okay, so with that being said, I do have an idea of what I want to play tonight. Unicorn should be sleeping right now, so... Oh, and I don't work this weekend. I thought I had to work this weekend. I don't, so... Should still be on track to stream Saturday. Probably gonna save Zelda for Saturday, because more people have the opportunity to tune in on Saturdays. And I'm off Monday. 3-day weekend, yes. So if I can stream on Monday, I will let you know. But I'm excited. There was a link that says something about $400 Canadian. I think 400 would be a good price. I really do. Because there's so many... They have so many competitors in the space now. In the handheld market. I really don't know how patents work, but... I mean, you got the Steam Deck that's out. You got... I don't even know all the different ones that... I've seen them in just Best Buy, like Asus or ROG handhelds. Obviously, the big things is that they can play PC games. And there's rumors of PlayStation or Sony releasing their own... Cheese and rice! Yo, Tixie with the raid! Of 57 people, what the spark? Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, listen, there hasn't been a whole lot that was going on because we watched the trailer earlier. Has everyone in this community seen the trailer? In Tixie's wonderful community? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for trusting me. If you're new here, my name is Wizard of Time, and we're known for playing lots of Nintendo games and Hoyoverse games. But pretty much anything we want, but we're family friendly-ish. I would say we're like PG-13, you know. Yeah, 57, right? 57 people, holy cow. And if you can someone share Tixie's Discord link with one of the mods? You said in a row? What'd you say about Willis? All right, I'm gonna watch this trailer one more time just for the sake of doing it, okay? Let's see, because we got new people in here. I want to see their reactions. We'll have the alert on and everything. We'll change it to 1080. Wait a second. Hold on. What's that say right there? Not volume. I thought there was another word. Please tell me we can live stream from this. That would be a big deal. Let us live stream from this console finally. Two USB-C intrigues me. Interesting. I like that it just snaps in, as opposed to sliding. Has anyone else run into issues of sliding the Joy-Cons? Look, Heldemo. It's the same Mario Kart. Different level. New kart designs. That's all it is. Which I'm fine with. No, it's gonna be a new Mario. It has to be a new Mario Kart, right? Whoa, okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause it right here. Look at this. Look at the size difference. Bigger, better, blacker. Once you go black. PG-13, okay? PG-13. No one said we were mature here, by the way. No one said we were mature. So let's go ahead and clear the air here. All right. But let's look at what can we gather from this? Look how... Okay. I'm looking at the screens. Okay, you can't see my cursor. I'm sorry. You can't see my cursor, but I'm hovering between the original Switch and the new Switch. And that screen looks a lot bigger. Doesn't it? And they were smart to show the original Switch as opposed to the OLED. Because... Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That bezel looks like it's slightly thinner on the OLED than... He says a 1 inch bigger. Yeah. As a handheld, mostly player, I'm excited about the bigger screen. Yes. Okay, so you mostly play handheld. That makes sense. You know what? I wonder how big that screen is compared to a Portal. Because I really like the size of the PlayStation Portal. I don't know how many of you have that, but I will tell you that ever since I got a Portal, I have been playing that far more than I've been playing my Switch. And I think the biggest selling point for the Switch was the fact that you could play it in handheld, and it's the name explains it, right? You can play it docked, undocked, two separate Joy-Cons, and it's so much more accessible than a console that's stuck at home. And nowadays you can just turn your consoles into its own cloud server, essentially, so that you can stream the games. You love your Switch, but you got bored. I could see that. I could absolutely see that. Never played my Switch docked. I know I have it somewhere. Are you joking? What do you mean you've never played it? Lucid, you have been ruining my Mario Kart weekends for like 4 years. And you're telling me you have never played it docked? Interweb says the PS Portal is an 8-inch screen, so this will be the same size. 8 inches? Woo! I don't know if I've handled 8 inches before. That is, wow. I'm just kidding. I have the portal. I've been handling 8 inches for months, and I love it. Wife's probably in the other room. And she's like, "What? Let me find out." When we race, you're on your laptop with the stream on. You switch side. Yo, what? You love your portal, Christian? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is there anything else that they share? So April 2nd. Okay, chat. What day of the week is April 2nd? Does that fall on a Wednesday? I feel like they like to announce things on Wednesdays. Tuesdays or Wednesdays? Oh! They should absolutely do it on April Fools, right? Just the amount of confusion. The amount of confusion people would have. Be like, just not real. Nintendo released it on April Fools. It's like, no, it's real. It's like, no, it's not. Just the debate alone would generate so much additional traffic. They would thank me later. It's either that or people are like, oh, I'm not taking that seriously. But they would have to. They'd have to know it's real because of this first look trailer, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this first look trailer is the consequences of the leaks. This is a result of the leaks that have occurred. The leaks were pretty darn accurate, I feel. Now, the dark side of me is out in full force right now, and I'm like, yo, leakers, here's what I want from you. I just want you to confirm that there's a Zelda game at launch, okay? I don't want any more details than that, okay? I'm not asking for much. I just want you to do your thing, find out if there's gonna be a Zelda game at launch, okay? That's it. That's all I care about. I don't want to know the name. I don't want to know if it's backwards compatible. I don't even care if you leave out the fact that it's a remaster. Could you imagine if the Switch 2 has the optimization capabilities to increase the frame rates of games? So, say Breath of the Wild. You're in the forest, right? It drops all the way down to 16 to 24 frames per second. Normally runs at 30 frames per second. And now that plays 60 frames. And Tears of the Kingdom consistently plays at 60 frames per second. I don't think games, in my opinion, need to run faster than 60 frames per second because the human eye can't really track that much faster. I mean, I know you have esports and people that play the competitive games. I play the competitive games, just not competitively. I mean, it's my own version of competition amongst friends, not actually getting entered into a tournament and being able to win prizes. But if they could just meet 60 frames per second, there's just something about that frame rate where everything just feels as smooth as butter, in my opinion. Just personal taste aside. 100%. They saw the leaks and said, oh crap, we better make a thing to show people the new Switch that they hear from us, not leakers. Exactly. Because Nintendo went as far as to say that the leak was not official or whatever. They're like, no, Nintendo has not released anything like that. And then when they do the first look trailer, it's like, oh look, it's exactly what the leakers dropped. Look what happens to the Assassin's Creed franchise. I swear, every Assassin's Creed game gets leaked to the point where conspiracy theorists here, Ubisoft's like, you know what, why don't we just feed into the whole leak? We know our game's gonna get leaked. There's someone here that's been doing it every release, so why don't we just go ahead and leak our own game and then do an official announcement just to generate, you know, discussions about it. Farscaper, you said, I'm a little confused why it's so late because the thought was that it would be first quarter. Seems like it's done, which means we're waiting on a launch title. My hopeful heart is that it will be a Twilight Princess Wind Waker reboot. My foolish heart hopes it's a whole new Zelda game. Those in this time span, that is impossible. Right? I am with you. Let's take it a step further, okay? Because of the fact that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, you can play on the Wii U, you can't play on the Switch. But what about if they were to give the Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, the Wind Waker treatment? You know, it's like you can play Stargazy! 46 months! What the spark? Thank you so much! I appreciate you. I played Twilight Princess such a long time ago on the Wii. I've been wanting to replay it so badly. It's just, Twilight Princess was what I thought Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess is what I thought Wind Waker was gonna be. Especially when they released that tech demo on the GameCube of Ganondorf versus Link. And then they're like, just kidding, here's a cartoon version of Link with small feet and lots of different facial expressions. I was one of those haters. I absolutely hated on Wind Waker, but I still bought it. And then I was converted. So, just being honest here. Okay, I was one of those like, what is this? Especially because I was a kid, and my first game being Ocarina of Time, I was fascinated and in love with the fact that you watched young Link grow into an adult, and he was like Superman, he just saved the world, and then went back to his own time to continue living his childhood in a slightly different timeline now, where his, future endeavors are not documented in his time, maybe? I don't know. Zelda Hyrule Historia alert. And then Wind Waker came out. But I love Wind Waker. It's not my top 3, but I like it though. I do. Now when Twilight Princess dropped, game changer. Y'all remember you know what? Let's see. Twilight Princess original trailer. Let's go back. Let's go back, people. The E3 2004 trailer. Was it really PlayScope?
Fargo is your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo.
Oh, come on.
Fargo lets you do this.
Fargo,
shut up. I don't even have Wells Fargo. Okay. Just remember, you're like so pixelated, but that's as good as it gets. I love the music. I know. And then he transforms? What? I just got goosebumps. Who is that? Who is that creature? She looks evil. She's controlling Link. Who's a wolf? What is happening? Whoa! Did you see those? What was that attack? Who is that kid? Link's on a horse. He's drawn his blade. There's combat on horse? On horseback? What? Looks like the band from the band Gorillaz. Oh, I love the music. This was everything. This was what I thought Wind Waker was gonna be. Oh man, that ending! Like you're like, what? Am I gonna be facing off against this on horseback? Ah! Yo, was that not awesome? Yo, man, that was everything. That was everything. I wonder if people go back and rewatch these things. Notice how Link has this Ocarina of Time voice act. Yo, I did not know that. Are you serious? Since we're watching trailers, can we watch the original Breath of the Wild trailer? I need a good cry. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Look, brace yourselves, okay? Breath of the Wild original trailer. Y'all remember. This was huge because we went so long. We went... Was it 6 years? Did we go 6 years or 5 years? From Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild. "2014 is when they did the trailer. It was only 45 seconds. We're like, what is this? Skyward Sword 2011? Well, hold on. Now think about it. Should... Hi, my name is Farscaper. I watch Breath of the Wild trailer at least 3 times a month. Hi, Farscaper. Welcome. This is a judgment-free zone. Just like Planet Fitness. I personally watch the Tears of the Kingdom trailer quite a bit. I'm just playing. I should watch it more. Why don't we do this in order? What? Starting with Wind Waker. We'll watch Wind Waker, then Skyward Sword, then Breath of the Wild, then Tears of the Kingdom. How's that? I'm not going to go before that because I didn't... Actually, I lie. I think I remember the Majora's Mask trailer being amazing. I think. I don't remember. We need the direct trailer for Breath of the Wild. Okay. We'll do that. What is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. That looked like one of them bootleg videos. You know, the people that go into the movie theaters and they're like, yo, I'm about to release this movie illegally. Have I never seen the original trailer with the guy in the hallway just screaming names of Zelda enemies? No? You want to watch the Ocarina of Time trailer? Okay. Don't hate me, but I was very young, so I didn't know about Ocarina of Time when it first came out. I didn't play it until, I think, 1999. I think it came out in 1998. Ocarina of Time original trailer. All right, we'll start with Ocarina of Time. Not going before that. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. What's after that? Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, really? Okay. Zelda rap, what? Can we watch the Pong trailer? If it's good, absolutely. I need more context than that, unless other people know what you're talking about. Okay, Ocarina of Time original trailer. Nintendo? Does Nintendo have... Did Nintendo release these? Well, that's the remake. Okay. Well, we'll watch this one. Is this it? Is this it? Like one of the first videos? Oh! Well, maybe we'll do... Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I have ADD. If it's not obvious, okay. ADD, like up the A. All right. So I'm gonna start over, and I'm gonna actually look at the video. A dark time is approaching. Willst thou run? Oh! Who's that? Who's he? Who's that? Willst thou sink or swim? Whoa! Whoa! What? Hey! Or die trying. Oh! Yo, I have goosebumps. Willst thou soar? Willst thou what? What is that? I'm like, yo, I'm playing that game. Yeah, I never saw that commercial. Never. I was not playing. I did not play. Wait, what? I need to be the voice behind all these trailers. The legend comes true. Innovative 3D camera system. What? What? What language is this? German? Rumble Pack? It's compatible with the Rumble Pack, people. Whoa. I mean, this is kind of epic. Right? Whoa! Yo, I would have nightmares because of the wall shadows as a kid. Just here. And they snatch you up! No! The hardest part of the game! Yeah, the Floor Masters. Nani! Yo, this is a 5-minute long video. What? Oh man. Who are they? Obachan! Obachan too! 2 Obachans! Ha! Then you don't mess with me. Haven't y'all got your fill of Ocarina of Time from Smithick's insane run the last like 2 years? Did he play the heck out of these games? Honestly, he should have the Wizard of Time name. He's played more Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask than I have probably ever will in my life. He still does. Okay, that was a very difficult minigame for me. There hasn't been any logic. What are you talking about? Innovative 3D camera system! No, because that name doesn't... It doesn't make me think of anything other than Smithick. Like, I don't think of a video game franchise or anything. Just think of Smithick. Smizzard. Yeah. You know what's funny is his other account, Wiffick, it's kind of like Wizard of Time and Smithick put together. If you kept it short, if you think about it. A little narcissistic, but I don't know if you can argue beyond that point. Like when I fail at stuff? Maybe when Smithic fails at things, it makes you think of Wizard of Time. So why not just put like a wizard version of Smithic when he fails at stuff? So, Withic. Wizard Squirrel! Wizard Shiny! There's too many characters. We have to reduce the characters. Wizard of No Time! It's even longer. Wizard of what? Zenny! I said Wizard of what before I saw your message. We're in sync! We're in freaking sync! And this is on stream! Wizard of what say? Yo! That horseback archery minigame? Alright. We're going to, we're going to Majora's Mask now. And I like how I've just kind of abandoned TikTok, the TikTok live stream. They'll be alright. Majora's Mask, original trailer, Nintendo. In sync? Remake? No, I don't want the remake. I don't want the remake. Oh yeah. Is that the same guy? Why is it so difficult to find this official trailer? That was... What is this? What is that? Okay, ADD, don't watch. ADD, all right? Terrible Fate, 14 million views 8 years ago. It's not. I need the original. Wait. Okay, sorry. Since this video came up, we're gonna watch it. Well, if it lets me. Wait. Yeah, let me refresh it. What? Wizard of Lost Time. It's too many characters, RT. What is happening here? Okay. Dora's. Actually, hold on. How is it out of memory? What kind of sense does that make? Okay, here we go. Tom Holland! Okay, here we go.
Okay, so today, why don't we show a glimpse of how the new Zelda game is shaping up?
Sure.
Oh, we've been waiting for so long!
Already. So we must be
Whoa!
west.
Right.
Look at that
wanted everyone to
world!
See how beautiful this scene is with the setting sun.
Oh wow, he's climbed way up high.
Yes. Since this is such a huge world, we're making a number of high places that offer great views.
Wow.
So now you could decide where to go to from here.
Right.
You can see so far.
This is a good place to look around from. And if you see, say, a suspicious-looking tower in the distance, you might decide to head there.
Right.
And then you saw that flash there.
Whoa.
I love the translation.
Yes. And now the corresponding place is also marked on the map. Since
Whoa.
Link is here now, this is the distance he needs to traverse.
You can also zoom in from here, right?
You can, by tapping here, and you can also zoom out, and further out.
That's a huge world.
We haven't
Wow.
even seen the whole world yet.
What?
This must
Whoa!
be the edge of the map. How far are we from here to
Massive!
the edge of the map?
Yeah, it would take a very long time for Link to walk.
What?
But anyway, why don't we try to go to the point that we marked on the map? Let's go.
Whee!
Whoa, a few. Good to know he had the sailcloth.
Right, it played an important role in Skyward Sword.
I love this.
Now,
Cooking stream. What are we cooking? You want me to set things on fire? What?
But luckily, here we have a horse.
Oh, Epona. Long time no see.
That is not how you say Epona.
Yet
Whoa.
I'm hardly touching the control stick.
You're not
What?
touching it.
Yeah, and I won't hit any trees. Real horses don't run into trees.
Was there
very
time?
often.
What?
Well, that seems natural.
We're working on details like that.
And now that your hands are free, you can do a variety of things on the horse.
Yes, you can freely change the camera angle, for example.
What?
And you can swing a sword like normal. And shoot arrows.
You can take time to aim now.
Why don't we go to a place where we can aim at enemies with these arrows?
There's insect and animal life as well. I saw apples growing here the last time.
Yeah.
Like, look how big this world is.
This looks a bit suspicious. We must be near a dungeon.
When you think about
like
Ocarina of
this,
Time,
I
think about Twilight Princess, think about Wind Waker.
Oh, another one there. All right.
First thing you notice, far less water than in Wind Waker.
That sound tells you that your arrow has hit the right spot and damaged your enemy.
Oh.
And then in situations like this,
You can vault off the horse.
yes, while jumping, you can shoot arrows.
Nadia,
see.
this is
And you're in slow
because of
motion
you
while
two.
jumping off the horse.
Yes.
Instead of
Wow.
giving me
These
what
are
I
they.
wanted, it suggested something else.
So how far away is our destination?
That's how
from here?
Christian nationalists are born.
It'll still take about 4 or 5 more minutes, I suppose.
4 or 5 minutes more. Are you sure that this will be released next year?
Yes. All of the staff members are working together and doing their best. By the way, Mr. Miyamoto, how about your Star Fox game?
What? Star Fox? You're asking me that now?
Star Fox.
No worries about Star Fox.
What?
Oh, that's good news.
Star Fox will arrive before The Legend of Zelda next year. The way it uses the gamepad is really starting to feel good.
Oh, but before that comes out, we'll release Majora's Mask.
Right you are. We've made a number of adjustments to Majora's Mask, and it now feels pretty good.
What are y'all doing to me?
Yeah, we made it easier to play.
Wizard of
without
Grime
altering
has
the feel
arrived
of the original
today.
game.
We are going to deep clean
And we
the
worked on some
bathroom.
places where we felt
As you can
improvements were
see,
necessary.
There is mold,
right, after 10
mildew,
years, no less.
grime,
It's
dog
taken 10
hair.
years, but the 3-day system is intact.
residue from
And it's so
toothpaste
accessible,
everywhere.
you could even play while chatting like this.
I'm going to show you
Well, that's
how
all.
to get rid of all
Thank
this
you for
grime.
watching.
Like the wizard. Right? Okay, so that wasn't the original trailer though. We got to watch the original trailer since we're here. Don't you jump into the next one. All right. Breath of the Wild original trailer. That's not. Is it this one? No, that's way too long. I'm pretty sure. Ah, here we go. Wait. This one, right? It's gotta be this one. The Legend of Zelda. What? Wizard of Wine? The rant stream? That's like every stream. What?
Last year, I said that revisiting the conventions of the Zelda series would be our theme for the new Zelda game for
Hashtag Zelda, people.
However, before I get into that, let me talk about something that I needed to help to realize this ambition. In fact, it's something that we've wanted to do for a long time in the Legend of Zelda series, and so development began with this as our focus. In the earlier releases of the Legend of Zelda games, players got to explore a wide area, scrolling up, down, left, and right. However, after the game transitioned to 3D and the hardware continued to evolve,
by the way.
it became harder to create that feel of being in a vast world. For example, in Wind Waker, we used various techniques to create a wide world where you could freely explore many isolated islands. But it was very hard to create one large world where everything felt connected. We had to design small, bounded areas with a defined entrance and exit. And putting them all together made it feel like you were playing in a large world.
Huh.
But you still couldn't cut through the boundaries wherever you liked to explore that world.
Tell me about it.
Today, I'd like to talk to everyone about the latest Zelda game for Wii U. But first, please take a look at how the game looks on screen.
Oh!
This is the new world of Zelda. It's quite a vast world, isn't it?
Yo, I just got goosebumps again. Again.
You can even reach those mountains in the distance if
Like,
you walk
look.
far enough.
This still looks
Couldn't create
incredible.
Such a wide world like this in the past. As far as what you can do with such a vast field to explore, as soon as those boundaries are removed, it means you can enter any area from any direction. So the puzzle solving in this game begins the moment the player starts to think about where they want to go, how they will get there, and what they will do when they arrive. This is a clean break from the conventions of past games in the Zelda series.
Y'all are
where
so
you had to
distracting.
follow a
Wizard of
set
Dine.
path and play through
Wizard
the
of Pine.
scenario in the right order. I believe this departure will
Wizard of
create
Wine.
opportunities for new gameplay that have not been experienced in previous Zelda games.
Not even mad.
As you can see,
clever. It's
and
very
as you
clever,
know from
actually.
the Zelda series, the world in these games
Wizard
can
of
be
Climb.
quite peaceful. However,
Where will he
it
go?
is a Zelda game after all, so
Who
strong
knows?
enemies will certainly appear. Even in this
Wizard
set,
of Incline.
powerful enemies
Builds ramp.
appearing in such a peaceful
Wizard of
world
Recline.
is one of the
Y'all
defining
distracted me.
features of the Zelda series.
Just chilling a lazy boy? Yeah. I won't do that stream. Oh, what is Alex trying to say? Oh! What is that? Ah! Woo! What the? Ah! It's shooting lasers! Link! Run! What is that? It looks like a spider! Oh! Did you see how fast? Oh! He destroyed the bridge! Yo, I took my cape off. Oh! What are those arrows? Look at Link's haircut! Is that slow? What is that? Woo! Did you see that? Whoa! The beginning! You wish... Okay. That's dangerous. I'm immediately about to want to watch this video. This is why I don't YouTube. Now I think about it. Whenever people like, have you not heard about this person on YouTube? Or have you not seen these videos on YouTube? And I'm like, no. It's because I have an addictive personality or addictive tendencies, meaning if I become interested in something, it's like a rabbit hole. I'm gonna just dive into it, and I don't care about anything else. Tunnel vision, it's like the world is burning, like LA, right? Dark humor. Sorry, but I don't care because I am learning more about Breath of the Wild because that's the rabbit hole I've jumped into. Oh, okay. I should probably read Alex's message. Attention, sir. Just letting you know that I sent you something of merit on Discord for whenever you have the chance. Where? Oh. Over now. What? Okay. We'll talk about this more. Okay. Got you, Alec. That's all I'm gonna say. Suspense! Don't you know friendship is built off of secrets? You're not really friends unless you can hold secrets. Wizard of Design? Decorating stream. Okay. I like that. Has nothing to do with Seth! Okay, anyways. What were we gonna watch? We already watched the original Breath of the Wild trailer. That's not how Friends works? What? Wizard of Secrets. Skyward Sword! Yes, thank you. Skyward Sword. Well, should we watch... We didn't watch Majora's Mask. We didn't watch Wind Waker. Majora's Mask. Oh. Wizard of Time meditation stream. Wait. That makes me think of the videos out there where it's like some form of frequency videos to help you with like spirituality, I think, where they're just like just using something to go around the rim of a bowl, and it makes sounds. They just love the rims of the bowls. You know what I'm talking about? Do I need to pull one up? Frequency bowl meditation. Ha! Look at this. See? The rim. Good. You need to sleep. Like that, Nadia. You do! Solar plexus chakra for courage to speak confidently about what's on our minds. Root chakra for grounding and presence of mind. Wizard of Crime, the detective solving stream. It's all about the rim. See, Doofy! Yeah! Doofy gets it. That's what she said! Ah! Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never watched one of these with headphones on, and my brain is happy right now. I'm like, okay. Woo! Whew, okay. What are we doing? Majora's Mask. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is the longest I've been on YouTube in years. Like, I'm that person. See, if I actually had a business, I would be the worst CEO, because I would be one of those people that are so disconnected from my own product. Like the Twitch CEO before the one we have now. So not Dan, but the one before, where you just like didn't know what Twitch was, even though he ran the place. That's me with YouTube and Twitch. I haven't watched the live streams for a hot minute, and I don't actually I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube unless it's just like looking up tutorial stuff. And Hamburger Helpless, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't even spend like it's so painful. I guess marketing. Like 6 months ago, who is that guy? I don't know. No one knows. Right? Look at that. See? It has been. Oh, look at that. Oh! Chat, help me get to that. Can someone share this video? That's like 3,000 away. But the heartbreak happened when like my latest videos, like that was the peak. That was the peak. See, like this hurts. This hurts. Let me show y'all something. So y'all can see the backside of things. This is what I deal with. This is the analytics. I'll show you earnings as a YouTube partner when you don't have sponsorships and you also are inactive. This is the stuff that harms my mental health and makes me not want to do stuff. Because like I know y'all are always like, just don't care about the numbers, don't care about just play what you want, stream what you want, create what you want. It's like, yeah, Yeah, but I'm not 16 years old. I'm not in my 20s. And just personal opinion aside, I care about my time more and more the older I get. So if I know not everything is going to deliver, and it's like completely unrealistic to ever expect that to ever be the case for anything in life. However, when you invest so much time and effort into things and you consistently see things not really work out, it's really difficult. Really difficult to maintain that confidence. But like, yes, do you see this? You can't live off of this. I'll even show y'all. Let's go with the last. This is my metrics for all of 2024, which obviously are more of your views, revenue from Wizard of Archives. I don't make any money on that channel. That channel is not monetized. It is just archive. It actually lives up to the names. So last year is not going to be a really good indicator because of the fact that I was kind of on a content break since the end of May. So we can go to 2023 if it lets me. Let's do 1/1/2/3 December 31st, 2/3. Now look at that. That was nice. The numbers definitely play a role, especially for what you were going to devote your time and energy to. The other extreme of chasing numbers and algorithms doesn't work either. It's a tough balance all around. Exactly. Are you serious, Vanna? That's amazing. And the reason why I'm not talking right now is one of the personal challenges I've had is it's just a pride thing, I guess. But it always drives me crazy when my reaction videos are the ones that really perform well compared to my gameplay videos. Because, you know, the flip side of it is, wait, isn't that a great thing? That means you could just sit on your butt, watch a bunch of videos, do a little bit of editing, upload, and it's going to sell. It's going to do well. It's going to perform, you know? But I don't like that. You know, I love it when we're doing things like in Tears of the Kingdom and we conquer, you know, we do those insane challenges where we take on 5 Lynels or 3 Lynels at once. And then you release that video and no one watches it. And I'm not saying y'all. I'm talking about people outside the core community. It's just I feel like reaction content is the easiest form of content in my opinion because you're watching other people's content, even if it's from other businesses or like game studios like Nintendo and whatnot. It's not the content I've created. You know, I'm watching someone else, but I understand the human aspect of it, of wanting to know if you care about this creator, did they have a similar reaction to you? If so, why? And if not, why? So I do understand that the psychology behind that is just, do you know how long it took me to make this video? I made that video, I think, in 1 day. 1 day. I think it took me maybe 3 hours. From the moment I recorded it to editing to publishing. Like to the thumbnail editing and tweaking it. And it's like, there's going to be people that are on either side. They're going to be people like, Wizard, that's incredible, right? That means like you can actually get more of your time back if you think about it, if you just do reaction stuff. And it's like, yeah. But y'all know me. I keep it real with y'all. That's why I'm showing y'all this now, is because I don't know how many creators that you follow to this degree or more. I don't know how many of them are willing to show you this, especially the creators that have grown to a size that's far greater than this channel. So, you know, why would they show you this stuff, right? It's not your business or whatever. I don't care. Now, if it starts showing like my personal information, like my address and stuff, then I'm gonna care. But but I personally believe that, you know, the more transparent you are, the better. Don't just share the highs. Don't just share the lows. Share everything in between. Now, you don't have to share like everything, like, oh yeah, I just used the bathroom 30 minutes ago and it was a little rough. You know, like don't do that. Or I just had a thought that meant absolutely nothing. I don't even know why I had that thought. Like, no, not like that. But a lot of you have been here through the ups and the downs and the everything in between. And that's what I love. That's why I'm sharing this with you, because most of you have been here before we got partnered on any platform, and you've been here through the hiatus and all that stuff. And so I'm not asking you to like feel bad or anything. I'm just giving you context of the challenges that creators go through. And now the biggest channel I have, which is TikTok, is potentially days away from getting shut down here in the States. So it's like, great. And this one right here, that hurts. Do you see how many views? 702,000 views. And now it's been muted. And I have already appealed to TikTok. And there's just been changes. But that was on its way to hitting, you know, maybe 1 million. Who knows? But no one's going to watch it now because it was muted. And that also means that it's no longer monetized. And it's just pain. It's just pain. And then this video was before I was monetized. So even though that video has broken 1.1 million views on TikTok, I haven't made anything off of that. But yeah. And then this was when I took a break. It was right after this, and I posted the first Wuthering Waves. And, you know, my best friend's parents had passed away, so lots of things started changing, and so it's been so tough. I don't know. Some licensing deal fell through. They muted that one too. They muted that one as soon as I posted it, I think, because I guess the song that Fiorina sings in her story quest is copyrighted. And I hate that games out there don't already have the clearance to allow us to showcase their games and be able to make a living off of them. Like, there are some games out there, some studios that are, a lot of them are, I think, American studios that are adding options into video games to automatically disable copyrighted music. So, like, they're encouraging content creation and ensuring that this doesn't keep happening of videos getting muted. So yeah, I mean, that's the largest platform we have, and this is about to get shut down or delayed because of national security being at risk. Whatever. And now you got people that are just downloading an actual Chinese app. So more and more Americans are downloading Chinese apps because we're trying to get kicked off. They're trying to kick us off of TikTok. Like that's how it works. People just flock to somewhere else. They don't just submit to your control issues. Like, these old people really need to retire. There's so many people that are in the government that should have retired decades ago. Cheese and rice, man. Honestly, yeah, I've everything that's been happening to me happens for a reason, and I'm grateful for it at the end of the day, because if I didn't go through these types of struggles, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And the amount of personal growth that I've experienced over the last 7 months and continuing has been far more fruitful for me than the views that I'm getting or used to get and the income. However, that doesn't mean that I have to make a choice as far as, do I just continue to live my life how I've been the last 7 months and remain disconnected from this space? Or do I go back and commit to this space and now start getting disconnected from the world outside of the space? And the answer is neither. It's called applying the knowledge that I've gained over this period of time to ensure that when I come back, or when I'm back in this space, it's with a different mindset. It is more healthy. It's not as fixated on this. The financial intelligence that I've grown, that I've been learning over the last 7 months, has put me in a position now where, like, this is nice, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It used to matter because this income would help me pay my bills. Now, in the future, should I get this type of income, it is going to be able to be reinvested. It's going to be able to go into savings accounts. It's going to be able to go towards reinvesting into the content creation side of my life. It's going to go into the community where we continue to do giveaways of consoles and games or whatever is out there at the time of these milestones. And I'm going to make all this money that we make work on its own. Like, it's going to work for me. I'm going to make the money work for me. So then I can have more freedom and time and less pressure to ensure that my content is even better than it was before, and it delivers on a scale that was way bigger than it's ever been. And and everyone's journeys are different. I agree in term limits with and agree that some people should retire already, but a lot of the people that are all about the conspiracy that TikTok is a Chinese plot to infiltrate America are on the younger side of our elected officials. How young are we talking, Dredd? You found a balance that works for you. You deserve to be less pressured. Thank you. Look, I honestly don't feel like I deserve y'all. I really don't. And I never truly understand what I have. Just out of pure honesty. I'm grateful, but at the same time, it's just... Yo, Eric! Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. We are 1x away from a good time. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. What were you playing, by the way? Good to see you. Sunny, hey, you come in here. Eric, we were just talking about content creation. Is it Drunk Abyss? 36 started. Cheese and rice, man. I work my butt off just to get 1 star. The most I've ever gotten is just 1 star on floor 12. Like, the first goal was, can I actually make it through floor 12? And then it's turned into, okay, now can I get 2 stars? You had so much fun. And that's what I'm talking about. I probably do need to do some testing as far as I was working on my PC a lot today and made a lot of changes, so I'm curious to see how these games would perform. Now, thank you so much, Vanna, for gifting us up to How I Disappear. appreciate. Yes, absolutely, Eric. I wish you could do the Abyss with other players, where they kind of scale it a little bit, kind of like in Destiny, right? Or Borderlands or any games like that. If they really want to continue growing their fan base, continue creating more ways for these communities to interact with each other. And they're doing that. Like, you got the card game, you got the Teapot World, you got the events that sometimes do multiplayer stuff, but if they could do those end game challenges with people, that would be cool. Yeah, co-op local legends. It's an amazing time, like fighting a raid boss. Yeah, I'm on a soapbox right now talking about just the challenges of being in this space. And there's been so many documentaries that we've watched over the last year alone that has been very focused on social media and the pros and cons of it. Like, we've all seen how social media can be something incredible and beautiful, bring people together and be able to do things like this community, and being able to do things like gifting PS5s to people and Switches and all that stuff, so that like we could see the pros of social media and the internet when it's used in constructive ways. But then obviously we have no shortage of negative side effects. Like, I'm very worried about the younger generation. I am in support of regulation as far as finding ways to further restrict what the younger audience, I'm talking like 13 and younger, can access, for sure, because you're just a Google search away from being able to see whatever you want to see. And sometimes what you don't want to see because you weren't descriptive enough, or advertisers out there paid a buttload of money to ensure that their sites get put at the top of the search list, and the rest is history. Then you have the dark web. I've never gone into the dark web, and I don't think I ever will, because it terrifies me. The dark web terrifies me. I'm sure I know my personal data is in the dark web because we trust these companies, like insurance companies and email companies and whatnot, and password companies. Like, I think LastPass got hacked in December of 2024. It's like, you mean to tell me a password generator or a password vault company that's supposed to pride themselves on security gets hacked and everyone's stuff gets leaked? Like cheese and rice. So your stuff's out there if you don't already know. If you have good credit, freeze your credit. If you don't have good credit, I'm not going to tell you to freeze your credit. Like, you got to build it, you know? If it gets worse, it gets worse. You're already there. Like, mentally, you're just like, all right, credit's crap anyways, so whatever. Whatever. I would have the dark humor of, look, if anyone tries to hack me and successfully gets my personal data, please do me a favor and erase the debt that I have, okay? Please? Like, help me out. Let me have my fresh start. I've learned so much. You let me start with a clean slate. Oh, man. I'd be like Mr. Beast. Honestly, if I was in the position Mr. Beast has been in, or Speed or Kai, I'm not talking about the crazy stuff they do. I'm talking about the philanthropy. If I had the means, and y'all know I'm not lying because I tried to do it at this level, at this size of our community. If I can give, I want to give, because I think that's what brings people together. Like, I think the core, one of the core principles of humans, in my opinion, is community. So not just online communities, but community in general. Like, in order to survive as a species, you have to have communities. Otherwise, how do you grow? How do you extend the lifespan of your species? Procreation is important. Procreation requires some form of community. That means you need to interact with other human beings. If you are a human being and you have isolated yourself and you continue to isolate yourself and you don't see the reason to interact with other people, and that's the hill you want to die on, congratulations. Either you are going to be incredibly miserable for the rest of your miserable life, in my opinion, or you have reached that peak form of solitude where you are so at peace with your life and happy that you have full control over every aspect of your daily life and don't have to answer to anyone, and you're happy with the resources that you have and all that. If that's where you're at in life, then I'm incredibly jealous of you. Screw you, and congratulations to you. But at what cost is what I'm going to ask you. We as human beings, in my opinion, were not created or made or whatever to be completely isolated. In my opinion. My version of interacting, I have 5 kids. My version of interacting, I have 5 dogs. Okay? It's like, no way, we all need companionship. Yeah. Now, again, balance is always key, in my opinion. So I'm just ranting, but I'm grateful that we have this community, and I'm grateful that I didn't lose my passion for content creation. And I've just been wanting to take that step back, reevaluate things, and ask myself, why am I doing this? Why did I start this? What am I wanting to accomplish? Why am I wanting to accomplish that? Do I really feel like it's going to bring me the happiness that I expect it to bring should I hit that milestone? What happens after you hit that milestone? Are you going to change directions? Are you not? Now, this is not something that you want to think about obsessively, because you get locked into analysis paralysis. Next thing you know, you've lost half a day or months or years because you're frozen in time because you're locked in your head. So you got to get outside of your head. And for me, I feel like the most success I ever have is when I am doing things. And that's the big thing, is that you got to do stuff. Yes, it's important to plan. Yes, it's important to strategize. Yes, it's important to be able to develop that skill that you need to be able to look at this data from a neutral standpoint. Like, you just see the data as data. Like, you see it as a tool to help you decide what the direction of where you wish to go with your content. However, you don't want it to do what it's been doing to me my entire career in this space, which is creating all kinds of emotions, emotional turmoil if things don't work out very well, emotional bliss, just that euphoric high of, oh my gosh, a video's broken 1,000 views. Like, I remember when a video hit 100 views, I freaked out. Then it hit 1,000, then it hit 10,000, then it hit 50,000, then it hit 100,000, then it hit 150,000. It's like, holy cow. And then you develop those mismanaged expectations in your head, like, okay, I want all my videos to deliver like this, and it's always just that constant chase of, you want things to just keep growing and growing. And I think a lot of it has to do with, obviously, how these platforms have built these systems, but also, in my opinion, we as human species always want to feel like we are progressing, like we are working towards something. So if you lose sight of what you're working towards, you become lost and you start losing meaning and meaning in what you do. And it just becomes a very toxic spiral that you're in. But you have to get yourself out of it too. Like, all of these things is something that you have to deal with internally, externally, if you do what I'm doing right now, which is venting. But at the end of the day, it's still you having to put in the work. So I got to put in the work in my brain to ensure that I really am in as healthy of a space as I claim to be, or that I'm sharing with you all, and get back to being able to fully enjoy this. And so that's why the financial stuff that I've been doing on, outside of this space is going to give me that creative and emotional freedom to do what I want. And deep down inside, I want everything that I do or create to perform well, and I want it to make money. I want it to grow. I want everything to grow. That's never going to stop, but it's not going to be a defining reason why I do what I do. And a lot of you will be able to vouch for me that a lot of the best content that you've seen from this channel has been content that you can see how passionate I am about something. So the reaction videos, they perform well, or have performed well historically, because they can sense the authenticity behind the reactions. Because I don't think I'm a good actor. I've never taken a drama class, because when I tried to enroll in drama in high school, it was all booked up. And so I had to take Spanish instead, I think. It was such a weird, whatever. And, I never took any acting class. I haven't watched any acting videos. I haven't listened to any acting podcasts or anything like that. The most acting I've gotten experience-wise has been from content creation. So other than that, I feel like no matter what technology is coming out, as we speak, us humans are always yearning for connection amongst each other. And the only time you're really going to start seeing some gray area, I think, is when AI reaches that point, which it's practically there now, of being able to simulate other humans so well that you no longer can tell the difference, as if you really are in the Matrix. But if you don't get caught in that, us humans that aren't in love with the idea of just finding an AI to connect with instead of an actual human being, we're all just, I kind of lost a little bit. Essentially, we all want to connect. And I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm creating is a way to help us connect and find more people that share the values, like many of our values and principles that we share, to join the community. But we don't just want people that share 100% of our mindsets, because we want to grow as humans. And in order to grow as a human being, you have to ensure that you surround yourself and meet people outside of your box, outside of your world, outside of your snow globe, okay? You got to learn from the other side about things. You have to be able to have open discussions about things in different topics with people in a respectful way. And you have to realize that just because you feel strongly about something doesn't make it right on how you deliver that message to people, or how you react to people that see things in a different light. I hope I said that in the right way. I hope that makes sense. Essentially, feelings don't make things true. Just because you're angry at something doesn't mean you should be angry at that, or that it should be something you should be angry about. I encourage you all to challenge yourselves in your way of thinking about everything. And I also want you to, if you're not already doing this, to tell yourself that you're probably going to be wrong more than you're right. And that's okay. And even then, are you really right? How do you know? We're all kind of making this up as we go. The worlds that we have, this world, that has been created by us. I mean, it all started with an idea, right? And like we create things, and I don't know. You just have to be open-minded. You gotta have an open heart. Be open-minded. Learn to like fall in love with learning. Fall in love with just never allowing yourself to be siloed, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The world is a massive place. The universe is bigger than we could ever comprehend, especially in this lifetime. And that's, in my opinion, how you want to approach things. Just do that, you know. And this is the only space that I can be as open about things. Like we all wear masks. We wear a mask in our work life. We wear a mask around our friends, depending on the types of friends that you have. You wear a mask around your family. The only time you can be maskless, like truly maskless, is when you're by yourself. Because you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to censor yourself or do things in a particular way because you don't want to upset someone else. Like if you are like that solitude, you know, what I was kind of talking about earlier. But I don't know. I'm just grateful. I'm just taking a moment to appreciate living in the moment. I'm living in this moment, and we have to find ways to be able to do that more often. Be able to appreciate the moment. Because if you're sad or depressed, a lot of the times your head is stuck in the past. You're thinking about a mistake or a host or plethora of mistakes that you've made. You know, you're thinking about the way you reacted on something, or you're thinking about the outcome of a decision that you made, and you're stuck in the past, and you're letting the real time that's passing as we speak, every second, millisecond, go by while your head is somewhere else. And if you're so fixated on your goals, you know, like your long-term goals, like your, 5-year growth plan or 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 1-year plan, whatever, if you're very obsessed with it, your head's stuck in the future. And again, we're back to you're missing the time in the moment. If you're someone that when you go out to places and you want to make sure that you have recorded this event, like you go to a concert and you're like, I got to make sure that I have my phone out the whole time and I'm recording this whole concert, or you see something really cool and you have to make sure to record it. Yes, it's awesome to be able to archive that so you can revisit it in the future. But if you focus too much on trying to record or log whatever you're experiencing in real life, in real time, now you are losing that experience that you may not be able to ever have again. Like an eclipse, for example. If you see a solar eclipse happening, you're like, I want to make sure I record this. You spend your whole time recording the eclipse instead of, looking at it with your unprotected eyes to destroy your retinas. That's an experience that you're going to miss out on. But you're like, no, but look at the eclipse on my phone. Look at it. Isn't it great? And it's like, it's just this tiny dot that's just now like black. It's like, that's not the same thing. You know, it's not. And what? What are you saying? What are you saying no to, Jennifer? But see, the flip side of things is, say this channel grows to the size that I fantasized about in my head years ago. I lose the ability to talk like this with the core community because we're so large. You know, I don't know which experiment or book that came out years ago that talked about how they say the average human can maintain, 150 relationships at best. So you think about all these influencers and celebrities out there, or anyone in a public space that has millions of followers. They don't have millions of friends. They probably don't even have 100 friends. There's probably 10 or less of people they can actually trust as part of their inner circle, because that's just how things are. And it should be. Oh, about looking at the sun during an eclipse. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, don't do it. There was dark humor in that, you know? It's like, instead of being on your phone, experiencing the eclipse through your phone, you should be looking at the eclipse with your unprotected eyes, destroying your retinas. Because that is an experience you'll never forget because you're blind. But you could also be mature and actually protect your eyes and, wear glasses that can allow you to look at an eclipse too. And not be on your phone. Eric, stop talking about yourself. I'm trying to stream here. Okay? Jeez and rice. So selfish. I laugh, but I know quite a large people, lovely people. Listen. Everybody that we meet in life has something that we can learn. Like something of value that we can learn from. Now, that doesn't mean you should try and objectify these people. Like, oh, I just want to get to know you so I can learn from you, and that's it. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not something you should do. But it is true. Everyone has something that they can teach us, whether it is knowledge about a subject, whether it is a fresh perspective on how we see life, whether it's being able to teach you a new skill, or it could be anything. Maybe they just create. Maybe they inspire you. They've found a way to resonate with you at a level that sparks that inspiration that has been gone for so long, or has been dormant for so long. Cha-cha real smooth now, y'all. Everyone has something to offer, whether it's through gold experiences or bad experiences. There's always something to learn. Exactly. Also, what is the rush? We're all guilty of it, and may remain guilty of it for the foreseeable future. But it always feels like we have to rush things. Everything we do has to be done quickly. We have to do things better. We have to do things on a bigger scale. And if it doesn't go in those directions, it's considered a failure. It's considered a decline. It's considered something that you should revisit. Like go back to the drawing board, rethink things. It's like it shouldn't be that way, but that's how it is. And so society has made it in first world countries, in my opinion. And happiness, I learned something recently from one of the books I've been reading. Happiness is not something that it's not an end goal. Like if you try to make it an end goal, it's not like, okay, you've attained happiness and you're going to be happy for the rest of your life 100% of the time. It's like, no. I've talked about this in past streams, but for anyone that's new here, if you were happy 100% of the time, you would be considered crazy. Kind of be like the Joker, essentially. You know, you're just always smiling. You're just always happy. It's like, what's wrong with them? You know, so that is an artificial life. That is not something that you should be chasing. However, what you should be chasing, in my opinion, is being able to appreciate things of all sizes. There is a audiobook that my wife and I listened to on our way to Charleston for Thanksgiving that is incredible. I think we're going to buy the actual book. I've been forgetting, but now that I'm talking about it, I'm probably going to buy the book. The book is called The Art of Noticing. I need y'all to look it up. And I need you to either listen to the audiobook or read it. Because that book will change your life. The whole book is about giving you, I don't even know how many ideas, probably over 100 different ideas of how you can enjoy your life more, how you can create a more fulfilling life. And it just starts with the art of noticing. So there's been many studies out there, but a lot of the times it's almost like we're, hamsters on a wheel, where the things that you're doing, a lot of the repetitive tasks that you do every day, like commute to work, or you take care of your kids, like you prepare them, like you have a routine. We all have routines to some extent. A lot of the times you end up not paying attention to as many things as you used to, because it's almost like you're on autopilot, and you want to break that. Like everything you do in life, you want to challenge it. You want to challenge everything that you're doing, even this second, and you want to try and notice something different. Like, this is silly, but it's just, I've noticed that, I'm trying to think of something that I haven't noticed because I've been trying to put this into practice. I've noticed that I don't have any music playing right now in my stream. So all you hear is my voice and some background noise, probably. Most people probably don't like that. Most people probably find the stream very boring. If they come in, they're not part of the community, and they just hear me talking, and there's no background music to keep them entertained. Or, he said, who's the author? I'm going to open up Audible so I can tell you for sure. Like, if there's any book that I feel everyone should look into that is almost agnostic to a particular subject. So it's not like, oh, this is going to teach you finances. Oh, this is going to teach you philosophy. Oh, this is going to teach you religion, or this is going to teach you how to create content. It's nothing like that. It's all about the art of noticing. Rob Walker. Rob Walker is the name. So don't you come in here with that cheese and rice. Yeah. Especially for those of you that, like to do things going on walks, or you actually leave your house, you leave your homes, and you go outside, you touch grass. I want, find a way to gamify this, okay? Where the actual achievement that you get, or the rewards you get, is happiness. Imagine waking up every single day, and one of the first thoughts you have, aside from, I'm going to go back to sleep and let the world burn, is, I wonder what I'm going to notice today that I've never noticed before, or have ignored, or had noticed in a long time. That immediately creates a sense of wonder and starts getting that part of your brain going. The creative side, the imagination, what we had as children that some of us try to revive as adults, especially in the content creation space, where a lot of us are, including myself, at least at this time in my life, are in a situation that is the result of our societal system, I guess, like the American system. However, that doesn't mean that things have to remain as they have been. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to your perspective, to how you view things. So just imagine always trying to notice something different. You know what? Let me see if I can pull up some examples. Examples always help. Okay. So, I'm going to read to you 10 examples. This is going to be 10 different examples from the Art Noticing book, just to help give you more context than what I've described. Number 1, seek out the color blue. Spend 10 minutes observing your environment and intentionally focus on spotting the color blue. Note how it appears in unexpected places or how it varies in shade and texture. Seems, depending on your perspectives, like your mindsets, can be like, really? Just look around with the color blue? But for some of us, it's like, challenge accepted, right? And then you actually notate it down. Maybe you never noticed that something was blue in your room, or that you liked blue more than you realized. Like you have a lot more blue things than you thought. Example number 2. Walk a different route. On your way to a familiar destination, take a different path or detour. Pay attention to what you notice that you've never seen before. It might be a unique building, a mural, or even an interesting crack in the sidewalk. I think that alone will keep you a little more disconnected from our phones or whatever devices we're carrying with us, and more engaged with the real world. Example 3. Find something tiny. Shift your attention to the small details around you. Look for tiny objects, insects, or intricate patterns in places you'd usually overlook, such as the ground, walls, or corners of a room. And my wife bought me a new lens for the camera that allows me to be able to do things like focusing on something at a very close level. So if I wanted to do things like toy photography, or if I wanted to really focus in on particular objects or whatnot, I can do that. And that's going to allow me to see even more beauty in things. Example 4. Overhear a conversation. Next time you're in a public space, listen carefully to snippets of nearby conversations. Try to imagine the story behind the words you hear, focusing on tone, pauses, and context. So the goal isn't to just eavesdrop and, either interrupt them, to try and educate them, make them woke or anything like that. It's just observing. You're just observing. Example number 5. Spot signs of the past. Look around your environment for evidence of history, like old signage, faded advertisements, or buildings with a mix of architectural styles. Think about what these remnants say about the place's evolution. And so just think about this. Think about that. That's 5 examples already. And next thing you know, You're not on social media on your phone right now, swiping as you're walking outside or going somewhere. You're constantly looking around, taking in the world in real time. Sometimes you're not going to get to log all of that. That's a risk you got to take. But the experience you get from it, in my opinion, isn't something that can be recorded or taken in a photo. I think those things are different experiences. And I think you should experience all of these things, not just recording videos and taking pictures, but also experiencing things in real time, in the real world. You don't have to make a choice and decide one or the other. You can do both. That's the beauty of life. And example 6, I'm going to read 10 examples. Like I said, I think there's over 100 different examples, if not, I don't even know how many. Notice the shadows. Observe how shadows shift throughout the day. Take note of how light creates shapes and patterns on surfaces, and how it transforms spaces depending on time and weather. Now, these examples are so simple in a sense of it requires no equipment, it requires no money, it requires very minimal effort as far as trying these things out. Like, you just have to observe. You just have to open your eyes. See things with your own eyes, not through other people's eyes or other people's lenses. Example 7. Revisit a place with fresh eyes. Return to a place you know well, like a park, a cafe, or a street corner, and observe it as if you're seeing it for the first time. What details jump out that you previously overlooked? One of the great examples that I'm able to recall from that book, the audiobook, because I don't have the physical book. I think I'm going to buy the physical book after the stream. Because that's the beautiful thing about books, too. Books, a lot of the best books, in my opinion, are very affordable, ranging anywhere from like $5 to probably $30. And that's only if you want like a hardcover edition. A lot of times the paperback are super cheap. And I know we have the internet, so it's like, why would you buy physical books when the internet is at your disposal and you can literally research anything at any point in time? The answer isn't to choose one or the other. Again, you're going to see a pattern here. It's to do all of the above. Continue to utilize the power of the internet in constructive ways. And also learn how to appreciate books and the value that they bring and how timeless they can be. And I can't believe I'm saying this. That's just how crazy things have changed for me. I grew up the first 32 years of my life not really caring about books, only reading books when I had to for school and whatnot. It's like, why would I do that when I could watch videos? I could play games. I want more. I want more things to fire off, I guess. Like I need more stimulation. Like books wouldn't necessarily give me the stimulation that I can get from games and all that. But that was just me being ignorant for 99% of my life. Now I'm like buying books before I finish the current books I have, kind of like what I've been doing with games. But instead of worrying about, oh, what if this book is not going to be popular anymore? Or what if no one reads this book anymore? You know, like if you're comparing it to video games, like, oh, I'm going to buy this game and you don't get to it, you know, until years later where no one else is playing it, or it's just considered old news, or it just didn't age well. You don't have to worry about that with books, but it's beautiful. And instead of having to remember if you bookmark a site or an article, or if that site is even up anymore, or if you don't remember the video that you found on YouTube that really sparked inspiration or resonated with you, you know, with books, as long as it doesn't burn to the ground or you lose it, It's always there. You can always revisit it at any point in time. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. I'm not even done with the 10 examples. Let me make sure I finish that. Example 8. Catalog what's broken. Look for cracks, scratches, missing tiles, or broken objects around you. Reflect on how these imperfections contribute to the character of a place. So a lot of you that are more artistic than most can appreciate history, like older buildings that are protected by the cities in order to preserve history, or just hasn't been taken down yet because people believe it's haunted or something like that. You know, you're able to find beauty in those things because it's a living, well, it's not a living, but it's a physical object that preserves or reminds us of the history of the world at that time, especially. Example 9. Follow the birds. Spend time watching birds in your area. Observe their movements, interactions, and habits. Try to notice where they perch, how they fly, and the sounds they make. That might sound silly to some people, like, really, Wizard, you want me to become a bird watcher? Yes, I do. I want you to become a bird watcher, and I want you to admit it when all of a sudden you're 1% happier than you were before you'd started watching birds. And maybe you don't even know why, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to know why you feel the way that you do. I think we can quickly obsess over that, and easily obsess over that. It's like, why does this make me happy? Sometimes spending too much time trying to figure out why it makes you happy may end up changing your perspective, and now you no longer are happy about it because you kind of ruined the mystery of it, you know, the sense of wonder, because you just had to know, because as humans have to be omniscient. Like, we have to learn everything. We have to know everything about everything. It's like, no, we don't. I personally don't want to be ignorant. I don't like completely ignorant. But there's a reason why the phrase ignorance is bliss is still around to this day and makes sense. A lot of the times, the more we learn about things, the more we're disappointed or upset, or the more likely a negative reaction or emotion is evoked from learning about that. That doesn't mean you should avoid trying to learn more about particular things or developing a deeper understanding about particular topics or subjects or anything like that. It's just a potential risk you take. And at the end of the day, it's still a perspective, still a matter of perspective. So just because you feel a certain type of way doesn't mean that it's right or that you should. But this is the last example that I'm providing. Count repeated patterns. Identify patterns in your surroundings, such as brickwork, floor tiles, or repetitive shapes in architecture. See how many iterations of a pattern you can find in a single area. These exercises encourage curiosity and help you see the extraordinary in the everyday. And that is the point that I will make tonight, is that being able to find the extraordinary in your everyday lives is what will create the happiness that you've been searching for your entire lives, and creating those misconceptions that the only way that you can truly feel happy or experience happiness is if you accomplish a major goal or reach a major milestone or own certain types of material possessions. Like, you feel, maybe I can't be happy if I don't have a house, or I can't be happy if I don't have a car. I can't be happy if I don't have the latest phone. I can't be happy if I don't have a significant other. It's like, none of that is true. Just because you feel strongly about it, just because it evokes certain emotions out of you, doesn't make it true. That is your truth that you've created. So it's true to you. Maybe that's all that matters in the end, but the longer you maintain that mentality, the higher the chances that you will be miserable till you die. And this is what happens when I don't stream as much as I typically do, and I don't focus so much on, let me make sure I play a certain game, let me make sure I accomplish certain tasks in the stream, let me make sure I do this or that in order to entertain and feel like the stream wasn't a waste of time. I'm working very hard on breaking it or overriding that habit, that stigma that I've had over the years. I have no regrets right now of the direction that this stream has taken, starting with the switch to not watching all of the video game trailers for the Zelda games that we said we would, but we still have time to, and staring at analytics from 2023, whatever. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Everything matters. You decide on that. Now, anything that you have written that you would like me to read, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the comments. I'm not going to react to them because I will go on another rant. I'm just going to read them so that people can hear it and then also I see it. So scroll up through chat if you haven't been refreshing and grab any important message. So this is a wonderful stream. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Hydrate. All right, I'm gonna start with Nadia. I started writing down 3 things I'm grateful for each night before I go to sleep. It's been so helpful with gratitude for things. Actually, I can move this over here, since I'm not playing a game. Totally forgot about that. Let's see. I started writing down 3 things I'm grateful for each night before I go to sleep. It's been so helpful with gratitude for things big or small and appreciating life in general. Working really hard on not reacting. Very proud of you. Very proud of you, Nadia. That's all I'm going to say, okay? Keep doing that. Artsy Arnsy. I saw something once that talked about what is the first sign of civilization. Some folks would say making tools, but the example given was actually compassion. There was a person whose bones showed their leg had been broken in a way that would have meant death for sure, but they survived and healed. The only way is that the people around them took care of them. A community would have to help this person. So that is the first real sign of civilization: compassion and community. That is fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. And I feel very strongly that I'm going to remember that. But to reinforce that I remember that, this is something else that I want you to practice, is getting used to trying to put your thoughts down onto some medium as much as possible. Essentially offloading the stress that you're putting on your brain. Like if you thought of your brain as a computer, you think about your CPU or the resources that you're currently using on your computer, and you always want to make sure that you're not overloading it, right? Because what will happen? The computer will crash. You could possibly lose everything. Same goes for the human brain. Now, it's just a big thing of tissue. I think doctors call it plastic, which is weird, but it's something we have to think about. How often do we just allow our thoughts to live in our brain and either wait for it to disappear or allow it to take over and paralyze you, cripple you, metaphorically speaking. I'm opening up my notes. I'm going to read Artsy Yarnsy's comment one more time, and I'm going to use dictation because I don't feel like typing it all. I saw something once that talked about what is the first sign of civilization. Some folks would say making tools, but the example given was actually compassion. There was a person whose bones showed their leg had been broken in a way that would have meant death for sure, but they survived and healed. The only way is that the people around them took care of them. A community would have to help this person. So that is the first real sign of civilization, compassion, community. There we go. It's been recorded. And thanks to the power of technology, you can use dictation, you can use voice memos, and especially when no one else is around. Like, you can use voice memos, and voice memos can be transcripted, so you can now read what you said. You have journals, you have journal apps, you have notes apps, you have hard drives to store stuff. We have the ability to live stream. So we have our videos on demand that we could go back. There's so many different ways that you can externalize your thoughts. And it doesn't matter whether your thoughts are organized and structured for it to make sense. It doesn't matter if your handwriting is poor and you struggle with being able to read it, or it doesn't matter if your notes are scattered everywhere. What matters is that you just put it down somewhere. And eventually, when you have the time or the bandwidth, you can go back and you can try and organize these things using the para technique. Okay, so the other book that I'm going to push on you all, because I'm going through this, so I'm trying to practice what I preach and lead by example. I'm just going to look up the author. I've already talked about this in the last few streams, I think, but I'm still very much reading it. Actually, there's an audiobook that's free, but it is called Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. Building a Second Brain by Tiago. I think there's actually a video I could probably pull up too. We might do that if we have time, but let me read what Nadia wrote. So, you offload a lot into your phone calendar. You put everything in there. Nothing wrong with that. Artsy said this from earlier. When you were receiving doubts about receiving love from the community, that's okay. It's part of the process. You can be kind to yourself as you learn. Onward and upward, my friend. We never stop learning and growing. You can't fail at it, because as long as you are alive, each moment is a chance to move forward and continue on the path of being who you want to be. I don't know what version of myself wouldn't have been able to appreciate that as much, but I know that my current self 1000% embraces that mindset. Everything that we are experiencing in life, every second of the day, is a teachable moment. And when you experience hardship in the future, or if you are currently experiencing hardship, if you can get yourself out of the victim mentality, the victim mindset of constantly blaming everyone else and everything else in your life for why you are where you're at and why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, and start allocating that time and resources that you've been burning through like a wildfire in your brain to a constructive way of thinking, like, okay, I have been presented with this situation. It was unexpected. This is going to change some things. How can I grow from the situation? Or how can I resolve the situation and then learn from it, so in the future, I can reduce the chances of this ever happening again, or when it does, I will know how to resolve it quicker and more efficiently. Everything that you do, everything that you've been through is going to help you grow. As long as you allow yourself to think that way. The world is not black and white, but the modern world wants you to make things black or white. I would go as far as to say that as a society, like probably the entire history of human civilization that has been documented, there are countries or people, especially those in power, that want you to think things are black and white. Like, if you're not with me, you're against me. It's like, is that how that works? If I don't support you on something, I am your enemy? I don't think that's how that works. As a matter of fact, I refuse to allow myself to think that that's how things work, that that's how the world works. No, it's not. If I'm not with you, that does not mean I'm against you. It just means that I'm not with you. Like, I just have a different mindset. I have a different perspective on things. It's like, it's called living in the gray. And I've been learning more and more about that from just everything I've been exposing myself to, whether it's books, audiobooks, documentaries, people that I've had intellectual conversations with, or philosophical conversations with, spiritual conversations with. Living in the gray is what I feel is more important. It's going to allow you to not remain siloed or remain in the box that you've been in, or be put back in a box that you have managed to get out of over your years on this planet. And a lot of the times, people don't know what to do with true freedom. Freedom, I feel like a lot of times when people think about freedom, it's you're not under a dictatorship, or you're not a slave, or, you aren't working a normal job, for someone else. Like, someone else is paying you. Like, it's not that. Like, freedom to me kind of overlaps a little bit with happiness. But I think the freedom that we all seek, or that we should be seeking, is the ability to do what we want, when we want, for as long as we want. And that doesn't change. You're always able to do what you want, because you've worked very hard on creating a system or creating a life that has given you this opportunity. I feel that is true freedom. So, like, if you didn't want to work tomorrow, you don't have to work. You're working for yourself. You're not working for the man or someone else. Or if you want to take a road trip, you can take a road trip. A lot of this does involve money. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on getting to a point financially that gives me that freedom. If I want to be like Unicorn of Time, I want us to go to Japan. For so many reasons. I don't even have to sell her on it. She's already on board. It's Japan. I mean, come on. Instead of thinking, how are we going to be able to do this? Because we have these obligations at this time of the year, or it's going to cost this much money, and we need to make sure we get passports. We got to make sure that, we have people to watch the dogs, or we can afford to board them. You're thinking about all these logistics of things. And true freedom is being in that financial position to where the challenges you're facing doesn't have to do with money. It has to do with whether you want to bring the dogs with you or not, or whether you want to go in the winter or in the summer, and then you can be there as long as you want, because you don't have to worry about, I only have 40 hours of PTO left, so that's 1 week. So I can only go to Japan for 1 week, and then I'm back to working, and my PTO doesn't reset until the next year. You don't have to worry about that because you've done what you needed to do in life to where you're not having to work for the man. You work for yourself. And your money's growing for you behind the scenes because you're investing. You're saving. You're not spending excessively on things that don't matter because there's a book I'm reading called I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. This will be my 4th financial book since the summer. It's exciting. The other book I would recommend is The Psychology of Money. I think that's my favorite one now. It used to be Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but The Psychology of Money is everything, because I have found that my mentality, unfortunately, this is very hard to accept, but it is important. It's an important part of growth. My mentality about things, especially when it comes to the psychology of money, is very much in line with normal society. Like, essentially, my thoughts are what the middle class and poor class have had or continue to have. And so it was a big deal to come to that conclusion that I'm like, dang, man, I'm just like everybody else. But that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So now there are things that I'm doing that have already been making a difference. And it's just going to keep compounding on top of that. And I'm excited because the childhood dreams I've had of being able to travel, like go wherever I want, do whatever I want for as long as I want, I'm going to be able to manifest, unless, God forbid, or whatever's out there tries to cut my life short. I'm going to be able to do what I want, when I want, for as long as I want, with who I want. And I'm going to be working hard till the day I die and ensuring that I'm laying a foundation for generations to come. And how those generations will fare after me doesn't matter. It's because it's their lives. Like, so they have to decide on how they want to live them. But they wouldn't be able to blame me for why they're where they're at. Not that it would have mattered anyways. So I'm trying to develop that mentality in every aspect of my life. Meaning, especially in this space, like I want to be able to create the content that I want, when I want, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the performance. And it's exciting. And the Building a Second Brain book, the reason why that's such a big deal, you know what? Let's see. Building Second Brain, Tiago. So I think he wrote I'm going to subscribe to him. He wrote a book. He made a video that my friend Iceman sent me, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, it's called Para Method. So we'll just, here we go. And let me know what your thoughts are.
I love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
You don't know Monday.com? This is Monday.com.
Let me introduce you to Para, the organizing system that I use to organize information across my entire digital life. This is the single most popular framework I've ever developed. And in this video, I'm going to
Looks
show
like
you
Elon
how it
Musk.
works.
It's kind of weird. Like a thin Elon
Most
Musk.
people overcomplicate their note-taking and knowledge management because they don't have a framework that helps them make decisions about where things should go. They have to remember a complex set of rules or redo decisions over and over again. Instead, I want you to create a workflow that you can follow every single
I'll even put
time
captions on.
you create a new note or save a new document. That workflow follows the 4 letters of PARA: your projects, areas, resources, and archives.
And this is how I've been trying to organize
each one.
my digital
Projects are any outcome you're actively committed to that requires multiple work sessions to complete. Projects have 2 important features. First, they have an outcome, a goal that you're trying to reach. And second, projects end. They have a deadline or a time frame you want to complete them by. The key thing to notice about projects is that they're important, they're actionable right now. They're action-oriented and short-term in focus. Some examples: writing a new blog post, reorganizing a part of your house, potty training a dog, planning a vacation trip. Each of these endeavors will require different kinds of information, notes and research, plans, schedules, and you'll need a way to track the thoughts and ideas that you have over time. I'll show you my current projects and how I organize them shortly. Second, areas. An area is a role or a responsibility that you have that has a standard you want to maintain over time. Areas are never really complete. There's no goal that you reach and check off that thing forever. The key thing to notice about areas: they're important and relevant on an ongoing basis, including right now, but unlike projects, they're also important later too. They aren't quite as actionable as projects, but still require attention. For example, in your finances, you might need to keep track of taxes. For your health, it could be your weight or cholesterol. For your relationship with your significant other, gift ideas, or favorite places that you might want to visit together. So you see, even though you can't complete an area, it's still important to be able to track your ideas and your information and your dreams and your wishes over time for each area. Third, we have resources. Resources is really any topic of ongoing interest or any kind of just useful reference. And they're basically like a catch-all for everything else that isn't something you need to keep track of right now for, say, a project or an area, but it might be interesting in the future. They are low on actionability. They're waiting to be activated later for future projects or future areas that they could contribute to. A few examples: interesting subjects you'd like to learn more about, random interests and hobbies, places you'd like to visit one day, content or quotes or information related to architecture or books you've read. It can really be anything. Sometimes these resources are for fun or just in case. Other times they're very practical, like recipes or case studies for your business or photos for a future project, even if it's not something you're committed to right now. Fourth, we have the archives. Your archives are just inactive items from any of the 3 previous categories. Think of them like cold storage. They're almost completely unactionable, just waiting there in case you need to find or reference them sometime in the future. The key for archives is that whenever a project becomes inactive, you don't want to delete that material. There's no reason to delete anything these days. Just archive it. That way it can still be searched for later. It can be accessible whenever you have a Notes app available, such as on your computer, your tablet, or your smartphone. But in the meantime, it won't clutter up your workspace and distract your focus. I put resources and projects into the archives pretty often, but projects are the most commonly archived because they have a built-in completion date. It's rare that I'd archive an entire area, but it does happen. For example, if I have a big life change or decide to change my priorities. This is how I organize my notes and all my files. And the key is that I can have all of these categories in every single part of my life. I have the exact same system in Google Drive, on my personal computer, among other places. The purpose of PARA is really to answer the question, how do I organize my notes and files once and for all? And therefore to minimize the amount of time I'm spending making that decision every day, focusing on taking action instead of constantly reorganizing things. Let me give you a little tour of what my own PARA system looks like day to day. What you see on the screen is my digital note-taking app, which is Evernote. Been using it for years. I just clicked here on the left where it says notebooks. Notebooks is what Evernote calls folders. Some note-taking systems also use tags, which work just as well. Many thousands of notes. I think I have more than 6,000 or 7,000 notes. they all fit into just 4 very straightforward, clear categories. Think about how amazing that is, that thousands of discrete pieces of information can be easily sorted into 4 groups: projects, areas, resources, and archives. I like to put a number before each one, 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that they appear in this order, from most actionable to least actionable. Before we dive into what is contained within each of these para-categories, take a look at this number in parentheses after each one. So think of this number 1 projects as a folder, and then within that big folder, there are a number of smaller subfolders, one for each active project. I typically find that most people have somewhere between 15 and 25 projects. That might actually seem like a lot, but if you take the time to really list out all the different goals and outcomes that you're working toward, 15 to 25 is quite a standard number. So you can see here that I have 19 currently active projects. My taxes for last year. I have a blog post that I'm working on. I have cohorts of my online course. I have the book that I'm launching, 18 notes related to my son's education plan, all sorts of different things. And once again, look at the numbers in parentheses for an idea of how much information I'm keeping for each one of these projects. It ranges from 0, so you can tell I really have not even started on the research for this article that I'm writing, all the way to some that have 25 or 30, or the biggest one of all, which is the book I've been working on for a couple of years, which is 71 notes. Let's just take a look at the notes contained within one of these project folders. If I look at the brand identity design that we've been creating for Building a Second Brain, for example, I can see all sorts of things, from brainstorms around different words that we wanted to use in our branding, to some notes on fair use. There's imagery from Pinterest that we might want to draw on, all sorts of different things that anytime I'm working on this project, I want to just be able to click one place and have these notes displayed before me. Let's go back to notebooks, close the project stack, which is what this is called within Evernote, and let's take a look at areas. This is really every single area of my life that I have information to keep track of. All the ones that start with FL are business related. FL stands for Forte Labs, my company. And you can see it ranges from my son, to our car, to finances, my health, my wife, my personal development. Those are all the personal ones. And then on the business side, there's administrative stuff. There is notes related to our course, related to email, related to legal, marketing, people, the studio where we're filming this right now, our website. These are kind of like the 2 halves of my life, my personal life and my professional life. Let's close the areas stack and take a look at resources. So here's kind of everything else, all the other topics and subjects that I'm interested in, from climate change to marketing to design to music, neuroscience. Other ones are more like assets, like stock photos. So this is kind of a grab bag, a catch-all of very diverse kinds of information. The important thing is that none of this is particularly actionable. It's all kind of just in case. It's when needed, as needed. Let's take a look at what's contained within, say, a resource notebook on habits and behavior change. So I have notes from an article called The Art of Laser Focus. I have notes from a paper on something called the Good Art Effect. I have highlights from an article called Habits versus Goals. Think about how useful this is when the time comes, and this might be rare, that I really want to look at my habits and my routines. I really want to change my routines. I don't have to spend hours trying to find all the different things I've read and heard in the past about habits. It's all here in one centralized place. And I could actually get this entire notebook, retitle it to a project like, start a meditation routine, or create a morning routine, or some specific outcome that I'm trying to achieve. And I could move the entire notebook from the resources straight right over here to the projects in one step. Let's go back to notebooks, collapse the resources, and take a look at archives. Archives is the cold storage. There's more notebooks in archives than all the others combined, and that's the way it should be, right? Archives is everything you've done in the past. Everything I've done in the past is way more extensive than the stuff that I'm working on right now. So everything from, past year's taxes, to old apartments that I was looking for, to previous cohorts of my course. There's so many things that I've done in the past. I really only go in here if there's a specific thing that I'm looking for. But just scrolling through this list is such a blast from the past. It's such a walk down memory lane through all the very diverse, interesting things that I've been involved with in the past. It's actually inspiring to me. It reminds me of the breadth of experience that I have. It's almost like my portfolio. It's like a resume of all the stuff that I've done and achieved in the past, except instead of, one-page resume with some lines of text, I can click into any one of these and see, for example, all the details about, the apartment that we had in Mexico, how to transfer money to my landlord in Mexico. Like, who knows if this will ever be relevant again, but if it ever is, or let's say I have a friend who moves to Mexico and wants some advice, I know exactly where it's found and it will always be here for my safekeeping. So this is my digital note-taking app that I've just shown you. And I think of my Notes app as kind of the neural center of my second brain. It's the core of it. But the whole purpose of Para, the power of it, is that you can use it everywhere. What you really don't want to do is have a completely different organizing philosophy in each one of the many dozens of places where you keep information. In the next few videos of this series, I'll show you step by step.
So that's the only video I've watched from him, and I've been reading the book. And I want to read Keldimo's comment so we can talk about this. He said, while this idea is great and all, as parents who are the default parent, having the time to organize something like this and keep up to date is so hard. I hardly have time to read anymore, and I love reading. I read 192 books. You read 192 books in 2022, but if I can't even find the time to do something I love, this would be literally impossible. So what you were seeing in this video is just a finalized version of years and years of research and stuff he's been doing over the years. You're not seeing the struggles he had, and maybe he's not a parent, so he didn't have that extra challenge. But it's just the philosophy behind it. You don't have to adopt this particular technique, if that makes sense. It's just the idea, and obviously the book goes into so much more detail, but the idea is developing the philosophy of trying to document things like as much as possible in whatever way you can. So, this comment that you wrote, right? You should write it down in, I shouldn't say should, because that's projecting. If it were me, it might be helpful if I logged this somewhere, this struggle that I've been dealing with, or that I just came to realization for. I want to be able to organize my life more, but I'm a parent. And as a parent, every day is unpredictable. It can either be just like many other days, or something crazy can go down. Maybe someone, tries to do a backflip and breaks an arm in the process. Now you got to rush to the hospital. It's like, so, don't want anything like that to happen, but I can understand. But all I'm going to try and encourage is that you develop the thought of, maybe I should write this down, or maybe I should record this, or maybe I should take a picture and just put it anywhere. You don't have to create the para folders or start trying to follow this particular philosophy. It's just the idea of becoming more conscious of how many thoughts are circulating in your brain and how often we allow those thoughts to just disappear into the ether. Right? Like the movie, what's it called? The sequel came out last year, Inside Out. You had that huge library in the girl's brain, and you have like your core memories, and you have all these other memories, and then you see, the orbs start to die, start to lose their color and whatnot, because of the changes that she was undergoing. So imagine if, like, you were just always like, it's freeing. Keldimo, I challenge you to just start trying to develop or continue building on the philosophy of trying to just notate stuff in some manner, because the potential payoff is less stress and more creativity, like more resources in your brain to be more creative. So you might come up with solutions that you hadn't come up with before on how to improve your quality of life as a parent, how to improve the quality of life for your kids, how to improve the quality of life in other areas of your life. Just because how many of us have had good ideas either in the shower or as soon as we wake up or right before we go to sleep, and now because the idea is so good, you're like, oh, I can't sleep because you're so excited. And instead of just notating it somewhere, you're just trusting that you're going to remember this in the morning. And sometimes you do, most of the time you don't, and it's gone forever. You know, that's all I'm saying. And there are so many other ways that it's going to help you grow as a person. All of a sudden, your memory, actually, a philosophy like this allows you to not have to worry about how good or bad your memory is, because you are notating things. It could be anything. And so combine this with the art of noticing, and then you increase your financial intelligence by learning about how the world works, how you can break out of the box that I've been in, that you're probably in, or you just got out of. And it's going to be hard to stay down. It's going to be hard to be depressed. It's going to be hard to blame others or anything else outside of you. This is going to help you be more comfortable with holding yourself accountable. It's going to improve your creativity. I'm not saying this particular philosophy of para. I'm just saying that the philosophy of getting used to just noting things down. You don't even have to worry about trying to organize it. It can be scattered. You can have things in your Apple Notes or whatever devices you use that's outside of Apple, whatever, or your OneNote or your journal or Evernote or other apps or paper or videos, audio memos, whatever it is. It can be scattered everywhere, but they're still notated, and you still know how to get to most of that data to some extent. And if you forget, when you finally have the bandwidth to sit down and start trying to organize your life, like if you are on a staycation or you're on a vacation and you have just the extra time for yourself to just start doing things, I'm telling you. So for the people who journal, what do you write about? So I've been trying to journal more and more, and it starts with thoughts. It starts with like how my day went, or it's about something I've accomplished. Like I've agreed to possibly do a podcast at work on Copilot this year. I wrote that down, and I'm doing research on how to structure a good 20-minute podcast. And I've agreed to lead a training program on Copilot, and I don't typically train people on anything. So I'm learning how to become a teacher, how to deliver content and become a better public speaker and visualize things. Like I'm doing all these things, and I'm making sure that I'm trying to log this as much as possible. But you're right. It is the end of stream time. I apologize. I hope that there is something of value that you all were able to take from this stream tonight. I know that I have. I'm very grateful for this time that I've had with you all, and to keep an eye on the notifications. Like I said, I don't have to work this weekend, so I should be live on Saturday. I won't give you a time, but you'll know as you'll see me live. So I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Take care. I'm going to continue to rely on you for the raid, Seth. Thank you. Bye-bye.